Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. This is GGF bringing you episode 29, I believe, of Let's Try Draft Day Sports College Basketball 2025. Bong bong. God bless everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. We're going to get into it. So, 2 tough losses in a row. I guess that would be. We're on a 2-game losing streak. But we were definitely in both games. Almost toppled number 18 Arkansas. That is a must-see game. If you didn't see it, I suggest pausing this and coming back later, going to check that out because we almost toppled Arkansas. And then Idaho State, we were right in that one as well. Our next opponent is Staten Island, and I believe it's a home game. The 5-6 Staten Island Eagles. Yep, it's a home game. We lost our second home game against Idaho State, and we won our first home game against Florida Gulf Coast. So the Staten Island Eagles, they're 1-4 away. Let's take a look at them. 210 net rank. That's pretty good, actually. They're in a conference with DeWitt, Central Connecticut State, who's fallen to 6-5 after a good start. Teaneck, Loretto, Erie, Brooklyn, Chicago State. So let's take a look at their team. In terms of quality-wise, they have a lot of pretty solid talent. And then Cordell Wells, the senior, 6'8", 218, power forward, averaging 13.3 points per game, almost 8 rebounds. But a lot of solid talent, 2-star, 1.5-star. Yeah, very solid. This is going to be a tough battle. Darren DeWitt is averaging 10 points. 6'5", 174 shooting guard. 11.5 points, 4.6 assists, and 2 rebounds for the freshman. Dang. Will Keys, probably their starting point guard. 7.5 points, 4 rebounds, 2.3 assists for the junior Delano Pearson. Probably their starting small forward. Is another one almost averaging, Rod Wright, almost averaging 7 points, 2 boards. But Cordell Wells, we're going to have to stop him. So again, another team with, pretty quality players. They had the 74th recruiting rank. That is wild. Staten Island. And they're holding their own in all quads. So, and it's a very balanced attack. They have a lot of recruiting money left. We look at the rating. We're pretty even, except their defensive rating. They allow less points than we do. Still pretty low in the stats, but net overall 210, which is not that bad. So let's go back to our players. I don't think we're going to make any drastic changes. Net rating -12 for 327th overall, which is not that bad, actually, considering it goes to like 380 or so, something like that. If we look at our scores, Jerron Duplessis currently leading the way at 13.7. Charles Lake also in double figures, 13.5. And then it's a little balanced after that. Waylon George had a few big games. Nick O'Connor doesn't look to shoot that much on offense. Joel Boone has been pretty good. Javon Mitchell is really quieted after a pretty great start to the season. He has kind of tanked. If we look at, I guess, if we can go game by game somehow, game logs, there we go. He started the season 12 points, 15 points, 8.7, and then he kind of really fell off. Then he scored 17 against Brooklyn in 20 minutes. But then he's been putting up goose eggs for scoring, and he scored 3 against Idaho State. So, he's had his fair share of struggles, the sophomore. Can't wait to get Jason Tuck next year. Stephen Favors has started to step up and be good for us. After starting the season pretty quietly, he came on here against Baltimore, Brooklyn, Florida Gulf Coast. He's been good. But we're going to, let's see, it's Tuesday. We saw Staten Island. Let's go to play sim and go ahead and sim some of these games until we get to our date. But it's another home game for us, so we definitely have a chance to win. We didn't check the actual scouting report yet, but we will before we play them. Bunch of mid-range teams here playing. Providence 5-5. South Carolina Upstate goes to 8-4. 7-2 Davidson. 10-1 number 16 Dayton. Wooford 1-8. So we'll see how it goes. Quite a few games today. Looks like. And as we start, I think after this game, or maybe one more, as Easton drops to 1-9. 11-0 Texas, number 14. Washington, D.C. goes to 9-3. Iowa to 9-2, both unranked. 1-10 South Dakota. But we get into conference play very soon, and that's going to be really fun and interesting. We're battling with North DC right now for the last spot in the conference, which, if you haven't been paying too much attention, that's in my job security. Don't finish last in the conference. So we're going to have to win some conference games, and hopefully our matchups against North DC, but some of these other teams might be beatable too, especially at home. We'll see how it goes. Should be fun. I want to try to get through a season. Not by rushing, but just when we can, if we can. As Tulsa goes to 7-3, Central Michigan 6-2, 8-0 Cal unranked, 9-2 Florida also unranked. But yeah, we're gonna see if we can get through a season, see how the whole season plays out. North Eaton goes to 8-2 unranked. 2-8 St. Paul gets their second win. Southern drops to 2-7. Wow, it's a barn burner there. Arkansas 11-1. We played them dead even for about 38 minutes in that game that we played at Arkansas. We almost pulled off the upset. But they just had a couple minute or two of just outplaying us pretty badly, and then that's how we kind of dropped that one. Okay, so another day with no games. We may have to do some meetings. I don't remember the last time we did meetings. Texas Rio Grande Valley 7-2. St. Louis drops to 8-3 with the loss. Number 20 Indiana 10-1. 22 Kansas State 10-1. Florida State 7-3. Number 13 Kansas 7-2. Louisville 6-2 unranked. Miami of Florida 9-2 unranked. Milwaukee gets crushed by North Carolina in a top 25 matchup. Pittsburgh goes to 8-2 unranked. Number 11 South Bend beats number 17 Spokane. Looks like a very healthy amount of games. Winston-Salem still undefeated 8-0, and Cincinnati Jesuit 8-1. North Indy 7-2. Lots of good records out there still. Number 12 Omaha. 9-1 South Carolina unranked. 10-1 number 7 Villanova. 8-2 West DC. 10-0 21 West Virginia. 12-0 Nashville. We may watch some games when we get to the tournament. Number 6 Illinois 11-0. Michigan 8-0 unranked. 9-2 Michigan State, ranked number 4. Number 10 Ohio State 11-0. Quite a few unbeaten still. Penn State 8-0. Must be nice. Number 9 West Lafayette gets the win. I like them because they seem like an underdog team that's in the top 20. Bowling Green drops to 0-9. We'd love to get our third win here against Staten Island. It's going to be a tough one because it's one of those teams where quite a few people contribute. South Philly drops to 1-9. Number 23 Auburn beaten by Towson. The 5-5 Towson. That was Auburn's second loss only, I think. Southern Miss drops to 2-9. Bethlehem gets their second win, going to 2-8. So it's pretty cool stuff. Ithaca drops to 2-10. Cal State Bakerfield, nice record. Army 0-11. Princeton finally gets back on the win side, the winning column. Stockton goes to 4-4. 8-2 Jackson State, unranked. 10-2 Boise State, unranked. By the grace of God, we're playing another episode here. Number 25, Utah State, 11-2. Cal Los Angeles, 8-3. Citadel, 8-1, unranked. Kansas City Kangaroos. You have a team incident that needs your handling. Uh-oh. What happened? Okay, our game is today, December 22nd. RIP, my mom's birthday in real life. Team incident report. I don't know if we're running a basketball team or a daycare. Nick O'Connor and Waylon George just had a shoving match over some girl. I wish they showed that kind of passion on the floor, right? Anyway, maybe there's hope to sort this out, but we might need to clear these guys out of here to help the locker room morale. Both players' attitudes have dropped significantly as a result of this incident, Coach Ransom. Dang, son. What happened? Nick O'Connor and Waylon George, they're usually good for us. Let's see, Nick O'Connor. Team relationship has fallen. And Waylon George. Wow, Curtis Muhammad keeps dropping. I don't want to suspend him again, but Waylon George, 72%. Joey Manning is low. I might have to suspend. Jerron Duplessis is low. Curtis Muhammad again. 16%. Let me text him about your attitude. Heard you're having difficulties with some of the guys. Just drop it, okay? Slight drop. Your attitude's been lousy. You need to shape up. I'll do my best to change, but give me some time to work on it. No relationship change. Okay, he's going to work on it. Fair enough. Let's text Nick O'Connor. Heard you're having difficulties with some of the guys. Look, coach, I really don't think there's anything to worry about. Is there anything else you wanted? Okay, and Waylon George. Difficulties. Coach, this isn't my problem, so let's just drop it. Can I go now? Slight drop in your relationship. Well, it's not too low. All right, so let's look at our team page here. Check our morale and stuff. How do we get back to that page? Oh, office probably. Job security 100. Where's team morale? This button? Morale is low. Oh, no kidding. Joel Boone. Brandon Freeman's team. Nick O'Connor and Waylon George. Yikes. Let's look at the Staten Island scouting report. Net number 230 when we got the scouting report. Cordell Wells, their power forward, who starts at center. Even with Nick, Staten Island has the advantage at power forward over Brandon Freeman and their bench, apparently. But our bench puts up more numbers, but their bench is more talented. Staten Island runs a normal-paced offense, allows their players a significant amount of offensive freedom outside the sets. In the half court, they sport a balanced attack with their primary set being Princeton offense. Staten Island rarely seems to press, half court defense man-to-man, and then full court man. Cordell Wells, their leading scorer. Will Keys, their leading assist man. Cordell Wells, their leading rebounder. Stats look pretty similar, except we give up more points allowed. Field goal percentage is very similar. They shoot a little bit better at the line. Assists are similar. Rebounds, actually. We shouldn't get crushed on the boards. They get a few more blocks. And steals and turnovers about the same. So pretty balanced game, but we only have a 40% chance of winning, according to the scouting report, game prediction. But we've got to do something about morale. So, I wonder if I should suspend Brandon Freeman and Joel Boone. Like, just suspend both of them for team morale's sake. Plus, we'll see how it works. Let me have a meeting with Joel Boone. Okay, your attitude is talk some things that are going on. Hey, coach, maybe I'm not the one with the problem here. Maybe you should talk to the other guys. Your attitude's been lousy. Listen, coach, I really don't think there's anything to worry about. Is there anything else? I'm suspending you a week for your poor attitude. Fine, some time away from these guys might be good. Anything else? No relationship change. And we'll go to Brandon Freeman. Hurts that I have to do this, but your attitude should talk about some things that's going on. Maybe I'm not the one with the problem. Your attitude's been lousy. Really don't think there's anything to worry about. I'm suspending you a week due to poor attitude. Suspend me. You're going to see some attitude now. Major drop in your relationship. Morale is still low. Two guys. Brandon Freeman dropped down to 86%. Not sure how to handle those situations, but 2 suspensions for a week is good. Probably have to do our depth chart. To make it cohesive. So we're going to be undermanned for a while with Joel Boone out. We just have to set this up here. Ivan Carroll, point guard Javon Mitchell, power forward. Actually center for Stephen Favors, and power forward for Nick O'Connor. This one needs a power forward. We'll do the same thing. Center. Power forward. Point guard, Javon Mitchell. Needs a power forward. Go with Ivan Carroll. Now we need a power forward with this lineup. Point guard, shooting guard. Right, we don't have a power forward, so it's got to be Bobby White. Then we come down here. Power forward for Stephen Favors. No, power forward for... Put Stephen Favors at center. Need a point guard. It's going to be Javon Mitchell. Maybe this gets Javon Mitchell back at it. And we're probably going to extend Stephen Favors with Nick at the power forward. And here we need a point guard. It's going to be Charles Lake. And then in overtime, we'll go Javon Mitchell, Waylon George, Charles Lake, Stephen Favors, and Nick O'Connor, most likely. Or maybe Nick O'Connor and Bobby White, something like that. And then in garbage time, yeah. Okay, so our depth chart. Oh, we don't have a starting power forward, right? We're going to go with Bobby White. Should be good enough. Store lineup. All right, let's play sim. It's going to be interesting. 5-6 Staten Island. They've certainly got some wins. We're going to sim. Not a lot of games today, it looks like. Moon Township gets their 3rd win with 6 losses. Number 21 West Virginia stays undefeated, 11-0. Colorado goes to 8-2 unranked. Ohio 8-1 unranked. Cal with the loss to Norfolk State, their first loss of the season. NC Greensboro almost gets their 2nd win in 11 tries or so. Georgia State gets their first win of the season against a very good 8-3 team. Arkansas goes to 12-1, extends their winning streak. San Fran, Illinois State both go to 6-4. North Eaton drops to 8-3. I'm going to cancel here for a second, see how long we've been at it. 20 minutes. All right, we'll just jump in, but I am going to save. Save as F29A. And then we're going to jump into the game, guys, and give a spirited go of it. I don't think I'm going to do any meetings. I think I already did that, and the meetings are still good. So let's get into it. And also, North DC got a win. That's not good. Any loss in the conference we like. So South Carolina State lost. Delaware State lost. Norfolk State won, unfortunately, against Cal. That was an upset. And NC Greensboro. I'm not sure. North Carolina Central. Which one of those are the... I think North Carolina Central. So they got a win. The more losses there, the better. But we're home at the Maryland Eastern Shore Center. So we know kind of what to expect. Oh, we have Bobby White starting at center. We're going to have to change that. Offense, we're going to start running the flex. Favor outside, high offensive pace. Crash those boards. Defensively, we're going to play man-to-man. Half-court trap. We'll run that a little bit to start. We want to get out on the break a little bit. Defensive intensity, we can make that about there. Matchups. Cordell Wells. We're going to put Bobby White on him anyway, because Bobby White's a better defender than Nick O'Connor. And offense, we run the flex. All right, let's run it. Let's play. Bobby White loses the tip. Staten Island gets it. Tim Watson, the power forward. Nick is there. Can't handle the pass from Watson. Intended for Wells. Watson with his first turnover. Here comes Charles Lake. Chuck Lake to Duplessis. Trying to bust a move. Gets it to Nick. As we run the flex. Nick. Off the defender's foot and whistle dead. Back to Nick at the elbow. Good place for him to be. To Bobby White at the elbow. Gets it to Waylon George. George lets one go. Shot rattles out. DeWitt with the board. Passes out to Keys. Keys with it. Watson. Nick O'Connor's there. And White with the steal and goes the distance. And gets it to Jerron Duplessis. Great pass from Bobby White with the assist. His first assist. And we get on the scoreboard with 2. DeWitt to Wells. Bobby White is there. Forces him to give it up to DeWitt. Duplessis on defense. DeWitt shoots. Waylon George with the long rebound. Sends the outlet pass to Chuck Lake. Bubba Chuck Lake. White some fancy dribbling and scores. And I try to work the ref but get ignored. Bobby White with a nice play. There's Pearson giving it to Wells. 4-point lead for the good guys. Good defense by White, making him give it up. DeWitt gets it to Will Keys. They're running 5 out. Will Keys puts up a shot. George with his second rebound. Hustling early to get those boards. Comes Nick on the corner. Got some momentum. Pass taken by Bobby White, who's playing good early. Gets it to Waylon George. Let's see if he can get it going. Jerron Duplessis. Nick on the low block. See if he can make a move. He shoots no good, and Wells grabs his first rebound, averaging about almost 8 of those to lead the way for Staten Island Eagles, who are still scoreless. Cordell Wells forced to give it up. DeWitt. Watson. Nick O'Connor's there. Darren DeWitt. Duplessis on the assignment. Receives the pass. Chuck Lake arguing with the ref. Bubba Chuck Lake. Darren DeWitt. Gets to Watson. Good defensive effort here. Will Keys. To Wells. Wells trying to get to the hole and does. And puts it up with the huge dunk. Cordell Wells scores his first field goal, and it's 4-2. Duplessis to Nick in the high post. Finds Waylon George. Pearson on defense. Waylon George puts it on the floor, gets all the way to the rim for an easy bucket. Nice play by Waylon George. He doesn't over dribble according to our little scouting on Waylon George. He's a good dribbler. Cordell Wells outside. Dishes to Pearson. Puts up a shot and drains it. Delano Pearson with a great looking bucket. And it's 6-4. Lake tries to get to the hole right by his defender. Easy bucket. Nice play by Charles Lake. Chuck Lake. Here comes Darren DeWitt. To Delano Pearson. Waylon George on defense. He's been great on defense for us. Oh, Wells with the move. Throws down a monster dunk. Cordell Wells early, taking advantage of Bobby White. That would be Brandon Freeman if he wasn't suspended. Here's Bob White at the other end. It's to Nick on the elbow. Duplessis, opposite elbow. Takes a shot, no good. 2 rebounds for Darren DeWitt, the shooting guard. They have a chance to tie or take the lead on this possession. Cordell Wells. We're going to double Cordell Wells. Our doubling seems to work at times. And deflected out of bounds and a timeout. We're already about 4 minutes in. Motivate the team, entire team, praise. Okay, let's go. No fouls either way yet. That's interesting. Comes Lake. Gets it to Wells. Wells is not doubled. Wells shoots and scores. Not sure why the double broke down there, but Cordell Wells has 6. Definitely going to start doubling him. Bobby White lets one go, and he's blocked by Cordell Wells on the perimeter. Darren DeWitt with it. Cordell Wells Duplessis with the steal. Goes the distance. In and out. Bob White missed the dunk. So Bob White aggressive early, but can't get a couple of these to go. To Pearson. Cordell Wells. We show a double. Wells pass off the defender's foot and whistle dead. Staten Island inbounds the ball to DeWitt. Duplessis on the defense. Shot is no good. Bobby White boxes out Cordell Wells and gets the board. To Chuck Lake coming back. Duplessis. Still running the flex. Nick on the low block. Puts up a shot, no good. Duplessis offensive rebound and put back. Hits the iron, bounces up and in. Duplessis aggressive early and has 4 to lead the way. Wells and a foul on Bobby White. Bobby White's probably our best defender to keep on Wells. So let's just keep it rolling, but let's put in, you know what? Ivan Carroll. Let me take a look at him again real quick. Defensive rebounding, stealing, court IQ. Not that great of a defender. Stephen Favors gets blown by all the time. He's pretty decent at rebounding, but he would box him out. That's why Bobby White really is the best defensive player to put on him. So Bobby White's going to play some extended minutes tonight. Could look to get Waylon George a quick break here. Try to get Jovan Mitchell going early. Put Chuck Lake at the 3. Try to get a little fresh legs out there. There's Will Keys guarded by Mitchell. Mitchell's been good on defense for us as well, stopping a lot of drives. We have to check the stats on the drive stoppages. Wells gets to Watson. Nick is there. Pass taken by Wells. We don't double. Delano Pearson gets a pass in the post. Cordell Wells has great position. Puts up a shot, and Bob White with his second foul, and I bet Wells wished he could have that one back. I'm going to actually put in Favors because, you know what? I'm going to put in Tim Jones on him. Tim Jones, 7-1, could stifle him. We're going to try that. He's not a Tim Jones. Yeah, he'll. Okay. Give us a different look with Tim Jones guarding him. Wells to shoot 2. He's got 7. Definitely leading the way. Just balling out of control right now. Ties it at 10. to Nick O'Connor. That's taken by Jones. Jones is usually good for a bucket or so. Whoa, step back jumper. Missed it badly, but he's fouled on it by Cordell Wells. So we'll take that. Jones to shoot 2. Misses the first of 2, the 7-1 big guy. Misses them both. Darren DeWitt gets the board, but drawing fouls on Cordell Wells is a good sign. And a 3 goes down for Lance Pesquine to give them their first lead of the game. Duplessis with the ball. Gets it to Mitchell, who's posting up. Shoots, and Pearson commits the foul, so Mitchell aggressive early. It's a good sign for us. He'll shoot 2. Makes the first, and sinks the second. Javon Mitchell on the scoreboard with 2. Pesquine is trapped in the corner. Gets it to DeWitt. To Pearson. Lake on the defense. DeWitt, they're running nothing. Just being free with it. Pearson gets it to DeWitt. Duplessis is there. Cordell Wells. We double him. Puts it on the floor. Tim Jones stays with him. Oh, he gets the and 1. Foul on Tim Jones. Well, it is what it is. Cordell Wells has 11 points to lead all scorers, and he's really crushing it. 4-point game. Javon Mitchell brings it up. It's Nick on the block. Tim Jones. Aggressive early. Cordell White's second foul. And out he goes. So Tim Jones gets Cordell White out of the game. And sinks the first. Tim Jones, of all people, being offensive and making the most of his playtime here. It's Pearson. We might drop into a 2-3 zone soon. Cordell Wells. Did I say Cordell White? Cordell Wells out. Oh, White, or Wright, gets to the basket. Blows by the defender. And Pearson with the foul number 2 on him. So that's their 4th team foul. Our guys need a little bit of a break, so let's get Steven Favors in for a dual big guy lineup. Yeah, we don't have our whole assortment of players. Let's just leave. You know what? Let's try Curtis Muhammad. No, not yet. Let's just go with this lineup. Good Favors out there for Nick. 4-point gem to Tim Jones, who's been aggressive early, and a foul on Rod Wright. They cannot contain Jones right now, who's just making them foul. 5 fouls for the bad guys. We go back to Tim Jones. Gets it to Steven Favors, playing his natural position. Lake on the high post, shoots, rattles in and out. Nice work offensively to get to the foul line early. Charles Lake sinks it and sinks them both. So very, very good play early on. Trap. Darren DeWitt. We're looking to get some steals. Rod Wright. Cougar with the ball. First look for him. Guarded by Lake. To Watson. Way out top. Favors is there. Cougar on the block. Pass taken by Pesquine. 3-point threat for him. Watson guarded by Favors. Pass taken by Pesquine. I worked the ref. He agrees with the complaint. Watson with the ball. Guarded by Favors. And the pass for Pesquine sails out of bounds. And a timeout. So, probably going to bring in Waylon George for Lake. Leave Duplessis out there. Motivate the team, entire team. You know, let's show Tim Jones some praise, actually. And who's out there? Javon Mitchell, Waylon George. Let's try to set up a 3-pointer for Waylon George. Javon Mitchell to Waylon. See if we can get him going. Get a nice shot here to maybe take the lead. Javon Mitchell gets it to George. Puts up a shot and fills it up from long range. Waylon George, our play works perfectly. 1-point lead for the good guys. Ime Underwood with the ball. He's in close. To Cougar. Back to Underwood. Jones on the defense. Pass taken by Fleming. And I'm going to work the ref. Pesquine. Duplessis is there. Fleming guarded by Mitchell. Pesquine. Rod right, the top of the key. Favors is there. Shoots over Favors. Mitchell with the long board. Racing the other way. Lance Pesquine intercepts it, and they're going to get, oh, nice foul to stop the easy dunk. Mitchell whistled for it. Good play there. Make him earn it at the line. Ties up the game, and it'll stay tied. Waylon George gets the rebound out to Jovan Mitchell. Tim Jones with the ball, guarded by, not sure who. Duplessis guarded by Pesquine. Duplessis shoots, no good, but he's going to shoot too. They're in the bonus. Nice, aggressive play early on. I'm going to roll with this lineup. Duplessis sinks them both. Ball inbounded to Fleming. Chip Fleming to Cougar. Cougar puts up a shot. Underwood grabs the board over Tim Jones. Jones with the block and the rebound and passes it out to Jovan Mitchell. Waylon George is listened to by the Revs. Stephen Favors takes a shot a little too strong on the long two. They have numbers. Comes Chip Fleming to Barrett. First look for Barrett, guarded by Duplessis. Puts a move on him. Duplessis all over him. Textbook jumper in traffic. Back comes Jovan Mitchell. Still running the flex. Jovan Duplessis to Stephen Favors on the block. Looking to pass. Finds Waylon George. Let's see if he can do something. Gets it to Jovan Duplessis on the wing. Nice move. Duplessis gets all the way to the rim. Tim Jones offensive board and put back. Tim Jones has been a beast early on. 2-point lead for us. Barrett lets a three go and buries it from behind the arc. 1-point lead. Another lead change. Here comes Jovan Mitchell. Jovan Duplessis just made that good move. Mitchell posting up a bit. Shoots. Can't get it to go. Knocked out of bounds by the offense. Duplessis is still pretty... Oh, okay, yeah, he needs a break. Let's get Waylon George at the 2. No, let's see some Curtis Muhammad. A good feeling about him. And we'll run with that lineup. 2-3 zone would be nice for us, but man-to-man is doing okay. We're giving up a lot of points, but we're scoring a lot of points. Right with the ball. Tim Jones is there. Mitchell on the defense. Watson. Pass taken by Wright. Jones is there. Makes a move, gets by Jones, and scores it. Kiss off the square for 2. 3-point lead for Staten Island. It's Jovan Mitchell to Curtis Muhammad. Gets it to Tim Jones. Trying to go to the hole. Step back jumper. He's blocked. Gets the offensive board. Nice play by Tim Jones. Gets it to Mitchell. Running the flex. Here's Curtis Muhammad, who's going to score for us. Stephen Favors. Curtis Muhammad on the block. Makes a nice move. Lets one go. Can't get it. Darren DeWitt with the board. We're going to fall back into a little 2-3 zone. Try to disrupt their offense. They attempt to drive. He gets there. Can't get it. Mitchell with the board. Racing the other way. Curtis Muhammad with the ball. Going to attack the rim. Shoots it. Can't get it to go. Stephen Favors offensive board. We're actually pounding the boards on a team. That is crazy. With all these offensive boards. Waylon George sinks the long one. His second from deep. Ties the game yet again at 26. Now we drop into the 2-3. Mitchell guarding at the top. Cougar. Mitchell's there. Right. To DeWitt. DeWitt puts up a shot. Watson grabs the offensive board. Keys with the pass. Out top. Going going to go to the hole. Defense is there. Takes a tough shot. He rattles one home. Will Keys with his first two. 2-point lead for the bad guys. There's Curtis Muhammad, who's been aggressive. Puts up a shot and hits the deuce. Long deuce for Curtis Muhammad. 2-point or tied game. Cougar gets it to right. He's got good position. Missed it, and Jones comes away with his fourth rebound. Back comes Mitchell to Waylon George. Let's see if he can keep it going. Gets it to Tim Jones on the perimeter. Oh, DeWitt intercepts the pass, and they go the distance. Rod Wright throws down a jam. 2-point lead, Staten Island. Oh, and DeWitt with his second steal. We stopped the break at least, but turnovers now starting to be a factor in the game for us. Tim Watson. We're not drawing as many fouls. Curtis Muhammad ignored. Keys at the top of the key. Puts up a shot. Misses. Watson the offensive board. Puts it up. No good. Waylon George gets the rebound. See if we can get a score here. Tim Jones down low. Let's work the ref. Pass taken by Favors. I get ignored. Favors lets one go. Rattles in and out. DeWitt with his fifth rebound at the shooting guard position. Team rebound effort there. Mitchell on the defense. To Watson. Defense is there. Pass taken by Keys. DeWitt on the wing. Curtis Muhammad's there. I don't really like this lineup. Next dead ball, we're going to change it. Keys puts up a shot. Jones with the board. To Mitchell. Jones catches the pass. Jones gets warned by the ref. Stephen Favors. Who's going to step up and shoot for us? Favors shoots and finally kiss off the glass. Gets it to go to tie it at 30. Right at the top of the key. They're running their 2-3 zone offense. Cougar has it. Cougar shoots and swish. It's good for three. I don't want to call it timeout, but and a foul on Cougar, so they're in the bonus. Let's make some subs here. Yeah, our guys are dead tired. Let's get Nick O'Connor back in. Let's get Chuck Lake back in, and Javon Mitchell is just going to have to spend some extended minutes at where's Bobby White? Yeah, get Bobby White in for Javon Mitchell. Wait, White has 2 fouls, right? I don't want him to pick up his third here. So let's get let's keep that as is. Offense, we're going to run the Princeton. And matchups, okay, their guy isn't out there, Cordell Wells. We're going to play a 2-3 for a little bit. And we'll run with this lineup. Except we'll move Charles Lake to the point guard. I'm not sure why. Oh, Mitchell shooting too. Okay. Mitchell misses the first of 2. Oh, offensive rebound, foul, and 1. Stephen Favors with a huge play. Very nicely done. And offensive rebounds, we are crushing it as he converts the old-fashioned 3-point play to tie it at 33. We are crushing it on the boards, but Tim Jones is out now. But Stephen Favors doing his thing. Watson with the ball. Defense is there. It's Matt Cougar. Cougar in the corner. Not going to shot count. He traveled. And we have all kinds of momentum right now. Mitchell needs a breather, though. Gets it to Twan Mitchell. Hope he doesn't make a sloppy turnover. Gets it to Favors on the block. He wants it. And Tim Watson with the foul number 1 on him. 4:21. I guess we could try Doug Price for a little bit. And Favors will shoot. Drains the first. He's got 6 big points. Make that 7 off the bench. It's another lead change. We're up by 2. Very nice. We're right in this thing. That's taken by DeWitt. 2-3 zone seems to be working a bit. DeWitt rattles home the 3 ball to change the lead again. Charles Lake dribbles up. Curtis Muhammad with the ball. Stephen Favors on the block. Makes a move. Pass taken by Lake. We're running Princeton and goes out of bounds. Last touch by the defense. And it's a timeout. So let's motivate the team. Stephen Favors, praise him. And let's run. Well, this is a pretty easy call. Let's run a pick and roll with Chuck Lake and Nick O'Connor out of the timeout. Here we go. Chuck Lake brings it in. Nick gets it, working on the elbow. Back to Chuck Lake. Has a look at it. Gets it to Favors, who's down low with good position. Kicks it back out to Lake, who gets the screen from Nick. And then dumps it to Nick on the baseline. Back to Lake. 3 on the shot clock. Gets it to Nick. He's going to have to shoot. And whistled for the foul. A little too strong on that one, but Nick will shoot too. I love it. Good job by Nick to draw the foul. That's what he's good at. 0 points for Nick. Make it 1. We're tied at 36. Pretty wild game thus far. Doug Price gets warned. Darren DeWitt with it. Watson catches the pass. And once we get Bobby White, O'Connor on the foul. 3-point shot. So it's going to be 3 foul shots for Tim Watson. But we're going to run 5 out once we get Bobby White out there in the second half. And he sinks all 3. Chuck Lake advances. Curtis Muhammad. And a foul on Darren DeWitt. So they're racking up the fouls. We're in the double bonus, so Curtis Muhammad will shoot 2. Misses the first. Free throws starting to be a factor. I'm going to get Ivan Carroll a couple minutes at the center position and hits the second. So, yeah, let's go. Fall back in the 2-3. Cougar, Lake is there. And Keys can't handle the pass from Cougar. It's a turnover. So I think Jerron Duplessis can check back out there at least. And with this lineup, let's run let's run Princeton. I'm not going to run 5 out yet. We're not shooting a lot of threes. Only 2 for 2 from downtown, and they were both Waylon George. Doug Price never afraid to shoot a 3. Hacks the rim, though, and he's fouled and won by Doug Price. Love it. Racking up the fouls. Misses the free throw. Free throws really hurting us right now. They're starting to hurt us. We are 13 of 19 from the foul line. Not too bad. Just seems like it's been worse, but DeWitt, Duplessis is there. Underwood on the elbow. Shoots, no good. Duplessis with the second rebound. And we're running back the other way. Chance to take the lead again. Another lead change. Jerron Duplessis. Pass taken by Carroll. Our shot selection has been really good. Gets it to Nick. Duplessis with the ball. I'm going to work the ref a little. Ignored. Duplessis is fouled. Can't find the mark, so he'll shoot 2. The defense cannot keep their hands off us. Lead change. We go up by 1. Make it 2. Jerron Duplessis with 8 points. Doing all this without Boone, without Mitchell. Buckner with the ball. Ivan Carroll gets ignored by the ref. Fleming at the top. Chuck Lake is there. Back to Keys. To Buckner. Lake is guarding. Buckner puts up a shot from way downtown. Bang. High-scoring game thus far. Here comes Chuck Lake. It's in the Jerron Duplessis. We're running the Princeton. Ivan Carroll on the low block. He's fouled and knocked it down for another lead change. Ivan Carroll. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me right now? Carroll misses though again. And free throw misses starting to rack up. We could have pushed this lead out by 7 more if we made our free throws. But at least get 5 of those. Bryant White to Scott Buckner. Just hit a 3. Gives it to Ime Underwood. Chuck Lake defending. 2-man game with Underwood. O'Connor's there. Chip Fleming. Nice crossover. Duplessis fell back a little and rattles one home. Chip Fleming with his first 2. It's Charles Lake. Gets it to Duplessis. And Barrett's called for the foul, so we will shoot 2 again. I'm going to put, let's see, a minute left. Let's try to maximize this somehow. Doug Price. Let's get Waylon George in there. And Duplessis will shoot 2, misses a free throw. Oh my gosh, free throw is starting to haunt us a little bit. Sinks the second to tie it again at 44. We're on pace for a high-scoring gem here. Ime Underwood. Nice crossover. Can't score it. Ivan Carroll gets the board. Duplessis gets warned by the ref. Gets it to Duplessis. Geron. To Ivan Carroll. Still running Princeton. Nick O'Connor gets the pass in the corner. Let's see if he'll let the 3 go. He does. Wishes he could get that one back. Rare 3-point attempt by Nick O'Connor. Ime Underwood. And Lake whistled for the foul. So we had a foul to give. So all is well. For this last possession, let's bring in Tim Jones. Yeah, let's bring in Tim Jones. Chip Fleming brings it in. Pass taken by Underwood. Lake is there. Underwood puts it on the floor. Jones is there. No, he traveled. Basket does not count. Back the other way we come. 30 seconds left in the half. Chuck Lake to Waylon George. Going to attack the rim and scores it. Hits the shot. Another lead change. We're up by 2. Nice play by Waylon. From Barrett. Waylon has been good for us. 10 points, 4 rebounds. Can't ask for much more from him. Buckner throws the pass over the head of Fleming and another turnover. So we want to get 15 seconds left. Let's get our offensive team out there. Let's put Nick at the 5. Waylon George, okay. And we're going to run 5 out and look for 3s for this last possession. Let's try to put a dagger in them. Lake brings it across. Duplessis with the ball. Steps back. Gives it to Nick. 8 seconds on the clock. Duplessis gets it. 7. Nice ball handling. Gets to the rim. Can't score. Bryant White gets it. Advances it quickly. Desperation shot is no good. And that does it for the first half. What a first half. High scoring. We're beating them at points in the paint, surprisingly. 10 second chance points for us to their 2. Not much fast breaking. Well, a little fast breaking. Waylon George, player of the half. 10 points, 4 boards. I think he has 3 threes. Or 2. Where does Waylon George? 2 for 2 from downtown. We haven't shot a lot of threes. Just 2 for 3 as a team. Pretty wild stuff. Our starters are all looking good in the plus side of the plus minus, as well as Stephen Favors and Ivan Carroll. Yeah, very good first half. Waylon George leads the way with 10. Duplessis has 9 to go with a steal and 2 rebounds. Stephen Favors has 7 with an assist and 2 rebounds. A couple guys have 4. Very nice. Nick only 1 point, yet we're still up 2. Very nice. For them, their star Cordell Wells sat after scoring 11 early. He got those fouls and sat out. And the rest of the team hasn't really gotten it going. 7 points for Wright, 5 for Barrett. And a few other guys chipped in, but they still scored 44. So it's still a very high-scoring game. I'm going to put this lineup out there, and we're going to run a little 5 out. And no, we're going to start the half running 5 out. Defense, 2-3 zone. Matchups, double Cordell White. And get Bobby White on him. Nick O'Connor here. All right, we're going to try it out. See how it works for us. We get it thrown in here. Charles Lake. Staten Island with a little momentum out of the half. Here comes Nick O'Connor. Gets to Lake. Duplessis down on the block. Wants it. Puts up a shot. Can't get it. Gets his own offensive rebound. Puts it back up and in. Textbook J. 4-point game. I think that's the largest lead we've had it thus far. To DeWitt. Wells at the foul line. Forced to kick it back. DeWitt puts up the shot. O'Connor with his first rebound. No kidding. Gets it to Charles Lake. We have a chance to extend the lead here. Running 5 out. Waylon George gets all the way to the rim for an easy bucket and the lay-in. Nice attack by Waylon. It's a 6-point gem. Biggest lead of the night. Cordell Wells forced to give it up to Pearson, who makes a move. Lake all over him. Waylon George's 5th rebound on the long rebound. We're pushing again. And pass goes out of bounds. Last touch by the defense. Chance to push the lead even further here on our home floor. Waylon George wants it. Takes his man to the basket again. Oh my gosh. Lays it in again. Off the square for 2. 8-point gem. Pass taken by Pearson. Lake on the defense. To Will Keys. Gets it to Cordell Wells. Lake is there though. Nice defense so far. The 2-3 is stifling. Keys has it at the top. Gets it to DeWitt on the wing. Pearson with the ball. Ready to attack the rim. Defense is there. Oh, he traveled. Traveling has been called. Nice start to this half. Lake dribbles up. I wish they kept stats on which of our offenses worked and stuff, because the 5 out right now is beastly. O'Connor rarely shoots a 3. Duplessis puts up a 3, rattles in and out. Rare miss for us this first couple minutes. Wells with Lake guarding. Gets it to Tim Watson. Defense is there. Still doubling Wells in the 2-3. Oh, no way that's going. Lake with the long rebound. Dribbles the ball over half court. Racing the other way. Gets to Waylon George, who's abusing Pearson. Gets it to Nick. Guarded by Wells. Trying to draw that 3rd foul. Duplessis gets the pass. Gets it to Charles Lake. Charles Lake shoots and puts it through from downtown. It was a 3. Count it for 3. 11-point lead. And we're starting to pull away a bit here. Charles Lake with the foul. It's number 2 on him. We have all the momentum right now. Darren DeWitt. Cordell Wells hasn't taken a shot the second half. They've tried to get it to him. Lake's been all over him at the top of the key. Tim Watson. Defense almost picks it off. To Pearson. Lake is there. Wells has a good position here. Lets one go, and George with his 6th rebound. That's got to be a season high. Oh, and Darren DeWitt with his 3rd steal goes the other way, and that's a big play for them. Tim Watson with the dunk. In fast break, here comes Chuck Lake. Gets it to Duplessis, running the 5 out. Nick. If only he could get that foul on Wells. Here comes Lake. It's to Waylon George. Watson arguing. George from downtown. He's on fire. 17 for George, and it's a 12-point game. Leads all scorers. Cordell Wells who? No, I don't want to get ahead of myself there. Defense is on Watson. DeWitt. Playing some inspired basketball in this 2-3 zone. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Pearson, guarded by Lake, has done an incredible job on defense. Wells is there. White is there, though. Stops the easy pass or easy bucket. Solano Pearson. Under 10 on the shot clock. Goes back to Keys. 7. Keys shoots and rattles home the 3 ball. Big shot there to stop the bleeding. It's a 9-point gem. Here's Nick. See if he can work against Cordell Wells. Gets it to Duplessis on the block. Duplessis back to Nick. Come on, Nick. Back to Lake. We're not running anything. Tron Duplessis. Oh, he has a good look. He makes a dribble move. Busts it out. No good. Watson comes down with the board. Duplessis has 11. Pass taken by Wells. Lake is right there. To Delano Pearson. Lake. Lake is all over the court in that 2-3 right now. Keys with the ball. Duplessis gets warned. Keys puts up a shot. Watson with the offensive rebound. Putback is good. Knocks his shot down. Cuts the lead to 7. Lake to Nick. Nick takes a shot, rattles out Tim Watson, his 6th rebound. Outlet pass to Keys. Cordell Wells. See if he can get it going. He does shoot. He's going to shoot 2, and it's a timeout. Lake with 7 points and 5 assists and a rebound. Let's go to our bench early and get Javon Mitchell out there for fresh legs. And Bobby White has been quiet but playing good defense. And even get Stephen Favors out there, and we'll still run the 5 out, motivate the team, entire team praise. All right, let's roll. Cordell Wells to shoot 2, trying to get going. Misses the first. Lead is still 7 and makes a second to cut it to 6. Closest they've been after we went up by as much as 12. Here comes Javon Mitchell. And Keys is going to be charged with the foul. It's the first on him. Gets it back to Mitchell. Duplessis gets it to Stephen Favors. Favors to Mitchell. Mitchell to George. Next offensive possession, we're going to go back to fancy dribbling. George gets to the rim and scores it. Finger roll for the bucket. I'm going to stay with the 5 out. Still in a 2-3. Wells, now Mitchell's guarding him. He goes past Mitchell. Defense is there. Cordell Wells a little too strong, and the foul's on Nick O'Connor, his 2nd. Okay. Wells will shoot 2 again. Trying to get it going. And cuts it to 6. That's our 3rd team foul we have to watch there. Javon Mitchell. That's taken by George, who's been able to exploit this 5 out. To Nick. See what Nick can do. Back to Javon Mitchell. Javon Mitchell to Duplessis. Guarded by DeWitt. Oh, and Tim Watson picks off the pass. They're running, and they get the easy slam on the break. We're going to call a 30-second timeout. They've cut it to 4. All right. You know what? I'm going to bring back Tim Jones, Stephen Favors, Mitchell, Duplessis, and George for now. George has 19 big ones. Let's motivate the team, entire team, show some concern. The play we're going to run is, you know what? Why not? 3-pointer, Javon Mitchell to Waylon George. See if George can make some more magic happen. Javon Mitchell gets it to Waylon on the wing. Seems like he has a good look. Lets it go. Shot rattles out. Keys with the board. So it does not work out for us, but they've cut the lead to 4. This 2-3 zone. DeWitt wishes he could have that one back. Duplessis with the board. Here comes Mitchell. Let's run flex. Waylon George with the ball. Favors, guarded by Watson. To Mitchell. Well, we're running 5 out right now, but back to Waylon George on the block. Makes a move. Puts up a shot. No good. Gets his own offensive rebound. Put back is good with a kiss off the glass. 3rd time he scored 20 plus this year. 6-point lead. Debating if we have to switch out of the zone. Cordell Wells. Mitchell now guarding. Top of the key. To Keys. Who has a couple shots go. Cordell Wells. Mitchell's there. And throws a terrible pass over the head of DeWitt. Much to our benefit. Maryland Eastern Shore inbounds. Here comes Javon Mitchell to Duplessis. We're running the flex now. To Tim Jones, so the big guys will get some touches. Tron Duplessis. Nice pass by Tim Jones. Almost an and one. Great pass and fine by Tim Jones. Defensive foul. Duplessis will shoot 2 to extend the lead. Misses the first. Makes the second. So we'll take it. We're up 7. Lance Pasquine had a 3 early and has been quiet. Tim Jones gets ignored by the ref. Tim Watson in the corner. Favors is there. Darren DeWitt. Gonna work the refs a little. Get ignored. Tim Watson again. Favors guarding. Cordell Wells, good position. He's doubled. Has to kick it out to Watson. Cordell Wells again. He's got really good position on Jones. Back to DeWitt. Good defense. Duplessis there. They have to shoot it. Pasquine. He's going to get a look. And shows off his range and hits the big 3. 4-point gem. Back comes Javon Mitchell. Oh, I want to work the ref a little. Referee agreed. 4-point game. Cordell Wells working. Down to Tim Watson. They're starting to work it low in the 2-3. It's been working for them. Kicking it back out for 3. Delano Pearson. George is there. Misses. Tim Jones with the 6th rebound. Outlets to Javon Mitchell, and we're running. Favors with it. He's got good position. Duplessis ignored by the ref. Tim Jones on the elbow. Nice crossover. Puts up a shot. Can't get it. Cordell Wells with the board. 4-point gem. DeWitt with it. Guarded by Duplessis. Mitchell guarding Pearson. Back to DeWitt. Hey, boo-boo. Video featuring Dougie. DeWitt lets it go. Duplessis with his 5th board. See if we can extend the lead here. Duplessis on the wing. He's been a little quiet in the second half. Makes a move. Shoots and can't put it down. Cordell Wells with the board. We might need another timeout. We're getting a little stagnant offensively. Mitchell guarding. Wells has been active, but our defense is hanging in there. Duplessis guarding. Pasquine, don't want him shooting a bunch of 3s. Cordell Wells. Mitchell all over him. Wells lets one go. Tim Jones pulls down the board, his 7th. Outlets to Javon Mitchell. And a horrible pass out of bounds by Mitchell. So Mitchell, his 4th turnover. We're going to bring in Chuck Lake early. 10:31 left. Waylon George is going to get a break. Wonder if we put Nick at the 3. It's not a lineup we use often, but it seems pretty cool. And we'll run with this lineup. Motivate the team, entire team. We have to show some concern. You know what? I'm going to scream. Oh, players are tuning me out. Because we let this drop to 4, and now they have a chance to cut it even more. We'll cut it to a 1-possession game here. Will Keys, top of the key. Delano Pearson. Lake back in the zone. And the pass sails out of bounds, intended for Cordell Wells. So, good defensive play. Here comes Lake. Let's really crash his offensive rebounds. Lake dishes to Tim Jones. Running the flex. Jerron Duplessis, high elbow. Puts it up and 1. How'd he get that one to fall? 6-point game, and Duplessis has 14 to go with 5 boards, an assist, and a steal. All around great game for Jerron Duplessis. Keeping him out there. Makes the free throw to convert the 3-point play. 7-point game with exactly 10 minutes left in the half. Comes Will Keys to Delano Pearson. Crowd making some noise. Ever since we switched to the zone, we really slowed them down. We're able to take the lead with it. I wish it kept stats like that. Maybe it does. I don't know. Like how the zone works, how the different offenses work. Pasquine to Keys. Keys hesitant to shoot it. Puts it on the floor. Lake is all over him. And grabs the rebound. And races the other way. To Jerron Duplessis. We're in a free set here. Charles Lake posting up a little bit. Gets it to Stephen Favors. Tim Jones working on the post. Duplessis might have a look here. Pass taken by Jones out in the perimeter. Jones trying to get to the hole. Can't get it. Lance Pasquine with the rebound, his first. Let's go with a pair of 3s, I think. Tim Watson with it. In In the corner, Watson, no good. Nick with his second rebound. Nick is playing the 3. In this big lineup, we're running the flex. Strong Duplessis, Cordell Wells intercepts the pass. I'm going to work the ref a little. I get warned. Back comes Keys to Peskin. 7-point gem. Back to Will Keys. They're looking for the 3 right now. Cordell Wells with it. Lake has done a great job on him. Down low to Watson, who has good position. Defense is there, though. Kicks it out to Peskin. Duplessis is there. Lake in the vicinity. Peskin can't get it to go. Lake with another long rebound. Races back. Tim Jones on the block. And it's off the defender's foot and whistled dead. So, I'm gonna ride this lineup a little bit. Oh, Duplessis is tired. I should have subbed him out. We do have 1:32 left. See if Duplessis can make some magic even tired. Lake posting up. He's always good down there. Shoots and hits the iron and bounces off, but that's what we want to see, Lake posting up. Let's get Curtis Muhammad out there for a minute. Chuck Lake will shoot 2. Drains the first to extend the lead to 8. And it stays at 8. Rod Wright pulls down the board. Gets it to Keys. Lance Peskin. Muhammad is there. Goes by him, but blocked by Tim Jones. Tim Jones, his second block of the game. That's what we miss with not having him on the floor, is the blocking presence. Muhammad puts it on the floor, shoots. Can't get it. Will Keys with the board. Races the other way. Ime Underwood gets it. Lake guarding. Okay, so Cordell Wells is out. Yep, Cordell Wells steps out. And off the double. Ime Underwood. I'm going to keep running the flex. Fancy dribbling. Defense is there. Fouls, and it's good. Big time play by Ime Underwood for his first 2. Steven favors the personal foul. Let's get Nick at the 4. Bobby White at the 3. And motivate the team. Entire team. Show some praise. Players appreciate it. Shooting the end 1. It's no good, but O'Connor with another rebound. He's been seen rebounding this half. Muhammad with the ball. Puts it on the floor. Flex offense. Can't get it to go. Matt Cougar with the rebound. Next dead ball, we're going to get Muhammad out of there. And get Waylon George. Curtis Muhammad with the foul. Is it too early for Waylon George? 7 minutes. We're going to try. We still have 2 timeouts to kind of get him a breather. Lance Peskin, guarded by Wayland. Puts up a shot off the mark. Bobby White with his second rebound. It's been a team rebounding effort. Here's Wayland, guarded by Peskin. George right away, filling it up from 3. 4 or 5 for Wayland George. Back comes Keys. We told Wayland George in a meeting to shoot more 3s, and he's doing it. And George called for the foul, number 1 on him. Keep it going. We're up 9. Clock is running. We have a chance to get our 3rd win of the season here in 14 tries. Cougar, Lake is all over him. Lake is going to be the charge with the foul. It's number 4 on him. Lake has been great defensively. We're going to just ride this lineup. Jones is tired. Oh, we're shooting the bonus. Missed it. Cougar got the board. Missed it. They get another offensive rebound. Lake is there. Puts up a shot. Bounces out of bounds. Good guy's ball. 9-point gem still. Here comes Chucky Lake. Races down. Jones with the ball. A bit tired, but attempts to drive anyway. Puts it up. No good. Ime Underwood with the board. Passes to Will Keys. Underwood has done a good job drawing fouls on Chuck Lake. Here's Peskin on the corner. Or on the wing. Back to Keys. Peskin. George is guarding. All over him. Ime Underwood has nice position. Rod right in the corner. Nick O'Connor's there. Right attacks the rim. Nick all over him, but fouls him and one. Basket and foul. So that is not good, but we've got to change the lineup a little bit. Wright converts the three-point play, and it is a 6-point game. We're going to keep running flex. Waylon George, Charles Lake, Duplessis will come back in soon. Gets it to Lake. And Lake throws a bad pass over the head of George for an unforced turnover. Staten Island with a little momentum here. Turn down the defensive intensity a little bit. Lake, don't foul out. Wells is back in, gets to the hoop, puts it up, no good. Nick O'Connor with the big board, his fifth. We have to double Wells. Chuck Lake to O'Connor, running the offense, makes a nice move. Bobby White on the baseline. Back to Nick at the elbow. Steps out. Lake catches it on the low block. You love him down there. Gets it to Nick. Nice pass to Nick. Will he convert? Bob White. The floor is spread. White shoots. Can't get it. Chip Fleming grabs it. I think I told him to shoot less mid-range jumpers and shoot more threes. Doug White. Wells with good position. Favors is there. Recovers. Chuck Lake guarding. Referee warns Lake. Basket is no good. Nick with his sixth rebound. Outlets to Lake. Pass taken by Waylon George. He's been magic this game. Gets it to Lake on the low block again. Lake puts it up and in. It's good. He's in double digits with 10. 3 for 3 from the field. 6 assists, 3 rebounds for Chuck Lake. And we want him to post up more. That's for show. Guarding Wells here. Wells has been quiet in the second half. He's tried it, but DeWitt misses. Waylon George's 8th rebound. We're killing it on the boards. Just doing an awesome job. Waylon George. O'Connor. Guarded by Pearson. Makes a move. Bobby White out at the three-point line. Waylon George. Nice motion by the offense. Attacks the rim. Puts it up. No good. Tim Watson with the board. I worked the rough a little. 8-point gem here. Back comes Chip Fleming to Pearson. We're going to make some changes soon. Fleming with the ball. Puts it up. Missed it. Waylon George's 9th rebound. He's working on a double-double. He's undersized playing the small forward position. Waylon George to Nick on the elbow. Bobby White with the ball. And pass was deflected out of bounds. So let's look at to make some subs. It could use a quick breather, but he's rebounding so well. Let's get Duplessis in for Nick. And Ivan Carroll in for White. And move Carroll to the 4. George to the 3. And motivate the team. Waylon George praise. Play will run a... Let's run an isolation. Charles Lake, get it to Jerron Duplessis. 8-point game. Charles Lake taken by Duplessis. Let's see what he can do. Goes to the foul line. Pass out of bounds. Last touch by the defense. Waylon George is dead tired. But he's been magic. Chuck Lake gets to Ivan Carroll. DeWitt arguing. We'll work the ref. I get warned. Cordell Wells picks it off. Back comes Keys. Back to Wells at the foul line extended. Back to Watson. Good defense by Chuck Lake. Outside to Keys. Cordell Wells again. Top of the key. Lake is there. Lake is there again on Pearson. Tim Watson on the block. This is where they hurt us. Back out to Keys. Let's see if he wants the shot. Delano Pearson. Good defense. Back to Keys. Keys attacks the rim. Lake all over him. Tough shot. Great look and knocked it down. 6-point game and they're pressing. Here comes Chuck Lake. Keep running the flex. Ivan Carroll with it. Fresh legs for him. He puts it on the floor. Goes up and almost gets the and one. Can't find the mark, but he'll shoot 2. We're We're going to take Bobby White and do we want Tim Jones or let's keep Stephen Favors on the floor. Defense, crash the boards a bit to get those rebounds and put up the intensity a little bit. Offensively, we'll run flex, favor the outside, stall offense. Very good. Let's go. Carroll shooting 2 and sinks the first of 2. And he sinks them both. Nice to extend the lead to 8. We're so close. We're 2.5 minutes away, 2 3/4 minutes away from getting our 3rd win of the season. Wells guarded by Lake. Goes out, lets a 3 go. Duplessis with the 6th board. It's been a total team effort. Staten Island gets ignored. The coach, Carroll with it. Gets it to Stephen Favors. We want to stall a little bit. Favors tries to get to the hole. He's fouled and won! Great look by Stephen Favors, and it paid to keep him out on the floor. And he converts the old-fashioned 3-point play, 11-point lead with 2 and some change left. Back comes Keys to Wells. Lake is there. Wells has been stifled this second half, only 14 points. He had 11 in the first half, 11 in the first couple minutes of the game. We've really done a good job on him. It's been Chuck Lake, really. But a total team effort. Watson, Bobby White gets the board. And we want to stall. Duplessis with it. Ivan Carroll. Use the shot clock a little bit. Pass taken by Bobby White. Guarded by DeWitt. Duplessis on the wing. Nice job, guys. Chuck Lake at the top. Gets it back to Duplessis. 2-man game. 11-point lead. And Delano Pearson commits the foul. And they're in the bonus. So Duplessis. Oh my gosh, guys. The worst thing in the world just happened. Well, relatively speaking. First world problems, of course. But my computer got like a power surge. And I lost. The computer crashed. Like, it reset. So that game is lost. But what I did, thankfully, because I'm recording with hybrid MP4 instead of traditional MP4, even if it crashes, the video was saved. So I think the video of all that game still works good. You should have seen it before seeing this. But I'm trying to edit it together now and make it work. But the game itself was lost. There's no autosave during the game or anything. So what I did, and it took me about 6 or 7 tries, but I simulated the game again, and until we got a win. We ended up winning 80-63. Of course, it wasn't as beautiful as how we did it on the court. It was such a good game for us, but I wanted to sim just to get the win, and then we move on from there. So I want to thank you guys for joining me. I'm sorry that's how it ended, and we'll check the box score next time to see how it turned out. It was such a great game for Waylon George and stuff, but stuff happens. Not a big deal. Praise to God. Nonetheless, thank you, Lord, for even letting me record and play this awesome game. So I want to thank you guys for joining me as well. You guys rock, especially if you're into this, you're digging this. We get our 3rd win of the season. Very fun. So I'm going to save this as episode 29 done. Thank you so much, guys. Hope you got something from it. If you did, please smash that like button. That lets me know you dig it. Plus, it helps the channel a lot. Also, I invite you to come back next time. Stay tuned for Mo. We're going to be playing a little Mo, definitely, because I'm really into this. And yeah, no big deal. We start our conference play soon after North Dakota, I guess. And then North Carolina Central is conference and North DC. So a lot of fun to come. I will see you guys in the next one, hopefully. Until then, be well, live well, stay well, and much love, peace, and joy. Be well, treat each other kindly, and praise God always. Catch you guys next time. Ciao for now.